Listen, I know people get on me about wearing the bonnet in every video, but I mean, my hair looks like this right now. So it's this or a bun. This is gonna be fun. WrestleMania predictions. First of all, before we get this video underway, I just want to thank everybody, not only for the support that we have been receiving on the channel, but just for the overall, just everything, even down to the first person that did it, to only the one people that do it, the some people that do it for some videos over others. I don't care. All of it means absolutely everything. Like, I have a genuine passion for YouTube overall, and I've been at this for years and years and years. And I just made this channel recently. You know, this was a second channel of sorts that turned into a main channel in the span of 3 months, because of my love for wrestling and because of my passion for wrestling. And I'm happy to be here. My name's Plus, and here we go. These are my WrestleMania predictions. All right, so we're gonna go from the bottom, and then we're gonna work our way to the main event. Rey Mysterio versus Dominic Mysterio. Now this one right here, this one's gonna be a good one. My big hype for this matchup and my big go ahead for this matchup was overall, you know, because, you know, I feel like the stars kind of aligned for Rey Mysterio. Like, he's going into the Hall of Fame this year. You know, aside from the Hall of Fame, he's also having a son, a matchup with his son at WrestleMania. Like, everything kind of, this weirdly feels like Rey Mysterio's end, but at the same time it doesn't. Like, I don't know, like, personally, in my opinion, like, just thinking not just WWE, thinking all over you know, the wrestling world, this feels like the end of Rey Mysterio's WWE story. I know a lot of people are probably like, where are you going with this? But Rey's wrestled all over the world. He's done it all over the world. He may have not won championships all over, even if he has, but even if he hasn't, he's made a name for himself all over. And I feel like there's only one place he hasn't done it yet, and that's AEW. That's me. A lot of people feel like he's gonna retire in WWE, but I don't know, just with the Hall of Fame and everything like that, this just feels like, if you're talking story wise, it feels like the perfect time to end Rey's career. And if Rey feels like he can still go, then why not do it in other places? But if he feels like genuinely that this is it, wrestling his son should be his final matchup in WWE, and just overall his wrestling career should accommodate in WWE, 110%, this right here feels like it. If he wrestles after WrestleMania, cool, whatever. It would feel a little lackluster after all of this, but I feel like this is where he passed the torch to Dom, and where my prediction comes in. I feel like this is where we get Dominic Mysterio becoming that, you know, new Mysterio and taking the mantle and kind of rising to the top. So, you know, and I like how he's having his own way of doing it with Judgment Day. So I like that, and I'm definitely in favor of Dominic Mysterio for that match. Men's WrestleMania showcase match. Oh yeah, I forgot about these matches. So they put these random like WrestleMania showcase matches. So I don't know, or this is their way of putting more faces on WrestleMania instead of doing a battle royale, which, if you ask me, I actually like this concept, because the winner of both of these tag team matches, both of these Fatal 4-Way tag team matches for the men and women's showcase matches, they get a tag team championship opportunity. So it's kind of cool, because this puts it into perspective. So let's start off with the men's, right? So right now we have the Usos going against Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. It has to be one of them to walk out of WrestleMania. The question is, who is Triple H pushing after Mania? Personally, I feel like it's between Alpha Academy and the Street Profits, the Viking Raiders, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, they try doing their thing. If Triple H is gonna give us that Viking Raiders we got, the War Raiders that we got in NXT, I'm here for it. But if they're gonna be doing this Valhalla shit, I'm good. Personally, I'm just not a fan of it. I feel like the Street Profits time to rise. I feel like they're gonna win that showcase match, and they're gonna go on to take on whoever wins that tag team championship matchup. Moving on, the women's matchup, we have this is gonna be interesting. We have Sonya Deville and Chelsea Green, which it's cool that Green is getting a matchup at WrestleMania. She made her debut at the Royal Rumble, and they've been treating her pretty good since. Like, I know some people were like, oh, she left this place to go here, and she has so much you know, freedom with Matt Cardona, but it's like, this right here is Chelsea Green's character. This is the character she perfects. The Karen character, she's done it all over the world, or at least a variation of it. The weird character she's very familiar with. I feel like this right here is putting Chelsea Green right in her element, and right in what she's comfortable with. I'm not trying to overstep and speak for her, but just seeing the work that she's done outside of WWE and then seeing her work in WWE, it's very similar. And when I see things like that, I love it, because it's like you're letting the thing you brought them in for, you're actually letting them run with. You're not just trying to throw the WWE logo on it and change everything, you know what I'm saying? So I like what they're doing with Green here. But her and Deville's a weird team. Then you have Shotzi and Natalya. another weird team, and then you have Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. That's just the SmackDown team, honestly. Honestly, the team that I see winning, the only real team I see here is Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey. I'm a big fan of this duo right here. There's something that I want to do in my universe more later on down the line, but all I'm saying is that you know, I'm a very big fan of this duo, and this isn't a duo that I can personally see winning the tag team championships right off the bat, because I still think Damage Control can do their thing after WrestleMania and they can really get some momentum behind them. But as far as like building, if you are trying to build a tag team women's division, this is the way to do it right here. Pick out, you know, the random teams, see who fits, and then place them in that tag team division. And I hope at some point this year they have some, you know, cross event, something, and they end up merging the NXT tag team and the you know, WWE tag team women's championships, and then from there, you know, the random tag teams can go back to the singles divisions, and then we can filter those out, and we can have one set of, you know, women's tag teams that go across all three brands, and we can filter out the people who are actually teams in, you know, in WWE. So I hope that's the case they're doing after WrestleMania. I know a lot of these seem like very crazy, out of this world plans. Like, what do you like? Who do you think Triple H is? Plus, but from what I've seen, that we've been, you know, Triple H has been operating under a Vince McMahon roster. He's been operating under a Vince McMahon, you know, way of doing things, just an overall creative way of doing things. WrestleMania is the end of your season. This is where you can put a lot of things to bed and start a lot of new storylines, so, and just overall start fresh. So I'm just thinking of how I feel like Triple H would do it, mixing in some main roster things with how he did things in NXT, and then a splash of my own, you know, creativity, of course. Moving on, Intercontinental Championship match between Gunther, Drew McIntyre, and Sheamus. Now this matchup is going to be very good. Now this podcaster I watch, he has a very bold claim about this matchup, and I'm actually kind of in agreement with him. Not gonna lie, his prediction is that Sheamus is gonna win by pinning Gunther. I feel like that can happen. I feel like this whole matchup has been between Gunther just trying to, you know, put that prestige and bring that prestige back for the Intercontinental Championship, Drew wanting to do something for WrestleMania, and Sheamus feeling not only that betrayed by Drew McIntyre, thinking that, hey, you were my friend, I thought you were gonna, you know, me and you were good, you knew this is the championship that I wanted, I talked to you about this is the championship that I wanted going into WrestleMania, and the fact that you inserted your slot, you know, you inserted yourself in that matchup, and you made it about yourself when it was supposed to be my moment, it came off a little two-faced to Sheamus. That's their story. Then you have this story dating back at Clash of the Castle when Gunther and Sheamus put it on an absolute banger, and we thought so close to Sheamus' opportunity. This is the only championship Sheamus needs, if I'm not mistaken, to become a Grand Slam champion, if I'm not mistaken. So that's what brings this story so together for Sheamus, and Gunther's gonna be fine, bro. Like, have Gunther win the King of the Ring, and this dude is going to be perfectly fine, bro. Like, I promise you. Drew McIntyre, send this nigga to the main event, bro. Like, I don't care if you put him on Raw and send him to the main event, put him on SmackDown and send him to the main event. They've been taking their time with Drew McIntyre, and it's okay, because it's like, I get it, at least, like, you know, you've been, I don't know, like, I don't mind that they've been taking their time, you know, with him, but at the same time, it's like, bro, like, we know what's up, like, let's just get this going already. But yeah, I definitely think this is Sheamus' time to shine, and I think this is his homecoming, you know, for the Intercontinental Championship. Now, I'm pretty sure it's confirmed, but we have Finn Balor, or Demon Balor, excuse me, versus Edge. That's confirmed, and it's also confirmed that the red Hell in a Cell is retired. Now, if that's the case, thank God, because that crate was so weird. Now, this is going to be interesting. Honestly, Edge should win this matchup. Edge is probably going to win this matchup. I have no problem with Edge winning this matchup. Finn Balor actually beat Edge a handful of times, so I have no problem with Edge, you know, winning, and this might be his last WrestleMania. You know, a lot of people are saying that he might you know, he might retire at, you know, SummerSlam, around SummerSlam time this year. So, you know, if that's the case, if Edge didn't move that retirement date back, and if he's really holding on to that, then You know, Edge should definitely get, you know, the win for his final WrestleMania, and Finn Balor will be perfectly fine. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, he's another guy you're gonna put in the King of the Ring, and he's gonna turn up for Judgment Day. He's gonna do his thing for Judgment Day. You know what I'm saying? He's not gonna win. I don't think he's gonna win King of the Ring. You know, I think that goes to Gunther, but I definitely think he's gonna turn up and he's gonna show out, and then his star performance in that will put him right back in where he was. And Edge will do his own thing. But this right here, Hell in a Cell, it's the perfect time for Hell in a Cell. I've always talked about it on this channel. I've always said it. When you do a Hell in a Cell match, when you do a Falls Count Anywhere match, when you do an Extreme Rules match, it should have value. There should be a reason behind it. The rivalry should accommodate to that point. It should reach that boiling point. And I feel like Judgment Day and Edge's year-long rivalry has definitely should definitely accommodate inside Hell in a Cell, and this should be the final chapter. They kind of closed it a little bit with doing it with Beth Phoenix. Phoenix got her lick back, and now they're doing it, you know, with Edge, and I'm fine with this being the end. Honestly, put Judgment Day on SmackDown. I feel like Rhea is gonna win the title. We'll get to that later, but I feel like Rhea is gonna win the title anyway, so just put them on SmackDown after Mania and keep Edge on Raw and have him do his. The Nigerian Giant Omos versus Brock Lesnar. This is definitely an interesting matchup, to say the least. I don't know who I feel like is gonna win this matchup. I mean, I want to say Brock, obviously, right? But I don't know. I feel like the Omos push is upon us. I don't know. I mean, I can easily see Omos looking dominant in the matchup, and then just off of Omos looking dominant or bringing like the beast to his knees or whatever, you know, that'll kind of still make him look good after the match. But I don't know, this match was kind of weird. You know, I definitely thought they were going with Bray versus Brock this time around. I mean, I'm okay with this over that, but at the same time, I'm not too sure, you know, how I feel about this match. I don't know. 6-woman tag team match, and the tag team championships aren't on the line. Trish Stratus, Lita, and Becky Lynch versus Damage Control. Now, here's the thing. I feel like two things are going to happen in this match. The story in this matchup is going to be against two legends and a crack in a team. You ready for this? Now, it's rumored that Trish Stratus and Lita are going to continue to do their thing after WrestleMania as far as staying in the WWE, and it's rumored that Trish Stratus is going to turn heel on Lita. I'm okay with that. Please give me a Trish Stratus and Lita feud going into SummerSlam, and it just has something to do with them and not something to do with the old women versus the new women. Have them run it back, have them do their thing. That's fine. I'm okay with this, please. I don't know what Becky's gonna do, but Becky's Becky. She'll definitely find something. And then the second thing is the crack in the team. I feel like this is where Damage Control is finito. We've been seeing the seeds kind of get planted over the last couple of weeks where, like, you know, Bayley keeps like accepting challenges and, you know, just kind of talking shit, you know, on the behalf of Io Sky and Dakota Kai, and they're both looking at each other like, yo, what are you doing right now, bro? Like you're fucking up the motion. You're looking at what we got going on right now. You feel me? So I definitely think this is where they turn their back on Bayley, and this is where we get either these two kind of do their thing. You know, because I definitely think Becky's promo on Raw kind of spoke volumes. Like, Io Sky was kind of doing her thing in NXT. So, I don't know. Maybe we see Io Sky kind of part ways and do her own thing, and we see Dakota Kai kind of take that revenge angle against Bayley, and we see them feud, because that'll be kind of cool. Think about what we're getting after WrestleMania. You know what I'm saying? Oh, and then we have Belair versus Asuka. We're going to talk about that in a second. But whatever one of them do, right, you can end up playing Becky Lynch against whoever wins that match. You have Bayley and Io Sky, or Bayley and Dakota Kai you know, doing their rival because they, you know, Damage Control broke up. And you also have, you know, Lita and Trish Stratus feuding. That's 3 different women's things going on, and 2 separate women's feuds going on outside of the tag team championship matches and outside of the women's championship matches. That's crazy. That's amazing. Right there, you have so much story. You have so much plot. Don't let that build up and let it go to waste. You have so much story you can run with here, and I'm just imagining. One-on-one match is going to be Bianca Belair versus I know these 2 women are going to deliver. I know they're going to put on a good matchup, but the build was genuinely ass. I'm gonna be completely honest. I don't want to be that guy and be like, hey, like everything was good. Like, I'm gonna be honest with the WWE. I'm gonna be real, because if I'm a fan of the product, I'm gonna give my honest opinion. I'm not just gonna sit here and just be a yes man, you know. But no, the build, it was definitely lackluster. You know, it was definitely it didn't give what I thought it would give. You know, and it was just the build. You know, in this matchup, I see this being Asuka's homecoming. This being Asuka's, aka Kana's, Raw championship win. This is where it comes full circle for her, and she finally does it. And this is where she kind of, I feel like when we get Asuka winning this matchup, we're gonna go into a lengthy championship you know, run from Asuka. Maybe Asuka and Becky feuding, or Bayley, or whoever. All I know is that I don't see Asuka losing that championship for a long ass time. Sami and Owens. So the Usos versus Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. I think we all know, you know, since this matchup is going to be taking place on night one, you know, I assume. I definitely think this is where the first crack in the bloodline is formed, and this is where we get that, you know, the undisputed tag team championships off of the Usos, and we get them put on Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, and then we get Owens and Sami Zayn doing the respectable thing along with Cody Rhodes and vacating one of the titles. And then the other matchup that I feel like is going to main event, Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley. This is another matchup that I know is going to deliver. I know these girls are going to do their thing. Like, trust me, like, I don't want people to think that I'm trying to take away from that. Like, I know they're going to go out here and they are going to kill this shit. But this was another feud that was just lackluster, and I don't know why. I genuinely don't, because this is Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair. This match is years in the making, you know what I'm saying? Dating back from, you know, WrestleMania all those years ago. You know, if I'm not mistaken, that was pandemic WrestleMania too, you know, dating back all those years ago when they first did it, not having that crowd, but having that build up, having Charlotte go to, you know, winning the, what did she do? Did Charlotte win the Rumble, if I'm not mistaken? And then she ended up challenging Rhea Ripley for the NXT championship, beating Ripley for the championship, and basically moving the NXT woman out of the way, going from the main roster back down to NXT, kind of sunning the division and going back up to the main roster after dropping this title. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that all started with Rhea Ripley, and this is where she shows that growth. This is where she shows that she is a different monster than she was before, shows that she is a different nightmare, and this is where she can be able to get the job done. The story genuinely, even though these women have been apart for all these years, the story writes itself from what happened years ago, and it just didn't deliver, in my opinion. And I don't know, that just kind of sucks. Seth Rollins versus Logan Paul. Rollins the win. I mean, I know Paul is kind of on a losing streak, but he's one of those guys who you can obviously give a SummerSlam or a Saudi or a Mania match and it's gonna sell. So I mean, just have, you know, Seth beat him. Seth genuinely needs to win, and I don't know what they're gonna do with Seth after Mania, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, if Cody ends up keeping the title on Raw or going to SmackDown, wherever Cody drops a title, they're gonna need a world champion. I feel like Seth Rollins is the perfect guy to finally step up and get that, because Seth Rollins winning a world title is so overdue, bro, and it needs to happen, bro. It needs to happen. We got United States champion Austin Theory versus John Cena. I am so excited for Theory to pass the throne. I mean, I think we all know Theory's gonna win this matchup. I'm genuinely excited. If in a world where if Cena wins and we get a summer of Cena, because that's all it would be, you know, Cena would win this matchup, and then we'd get one long, you know, another prestigious United States championship, you know, reign by Cena going into SummerSlam, and then he ends up dropping the title. That's fine. I'm okay with that. But I'm also okay with John Cena putting over Austin Theory, and we finally, you know, because I want people to see Theory how I see Theory. I see Theory as the future. I don't, you know, I see Theory as the next John Cena. You know what I'm saying? So I have no problem with this matchup right here. I just hate that it didn't have much build outside of John Cena. John Cena kind of just showed up one time, it said, hey, yeah, you'll have the matchup, and that was kind of it. So that was kind of weird for me. Not gonna lie, that was a little uncomfy for me, but that's one of the bigger matches, and I'm definitely excited for Cena to give Theory that torch. Then we got the main event, baby. You already know I'm excited about this matchup. By the way, this is night 1 and 2 mixed in one video. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just want that to be known as an overall WrestleMania predictions, not broken down, because I know people are probably like, how fucking long is this match card? Yeah, it's a big one. It's a big one, guys. I'm sorry. Dude, I mean, like I said, it writes itself, dude. I mean, Cody, I definitely want Cody to win. I put something up on my YouTube channel, on the community page and on my Twitter, on how I feel like Cody losing could tell a better story. I can kind of give you guys an over, like just an over and how I felt about that. But Cody winning could mean so much. It could mean a genuine fresh start to WWE, but I feel like Cody hasn't fought. I don't know, like I want Cody to win, like I want him to win, but I feel like if he won, it wouldn't feel as good as a Kevin Owens winning, or a Sami Zayn winning, or hell, a Seth Rollins winning. I just feel like a Drew McIntyre winning. I just feel like it would. I feel like so many people went through so much with Roman to get their championship opportunity to then lose. And Cody has had it so easy. Stepping aside from the Rumble, I'm not gonna throw that whole Rumble thing in his face, but just going into this feud overall, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's had Sammy, he's had Kevin, you know, he hasn't had to struggle, he hasn't had to really go through it by himself. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's been very well protected throughout this entire thing. We haven't seen the bloodline with Roman and Solo and Jimmy and Jay and Paul Heyman in the ring standing over a bloodied Cody Rhodes. We haven't seen that. We've seen that with Drew. We've seen that from Rollins. We've seen that from Jay. We've seen that from Sammy, Owens. We've seen that from everybody. You know, we've seen the bloodline really dominate before they get their championship matchup, and it's like Cody, it just feels like Cody came in right at the perfect time, right when the cracks were forming, and you can run with that story if you want, but I don't know. Maybe keeping the championships on Roman, having him get to that 1,000 days, you know, starting to build up Solo Sikoa a little more, so inevitably when Roman and Sikoa fight, it's a good, I don't know, I feel like having Roman and him go against each other, having, you know, Roman put over Sikoa, that'll really make Sikoa an enforcer, really catapult him to either the, you know, mid-card or into the main event scene. Sikoa is definitely he's going to be somebody to look out for, you know what I'm saying? But I want Roman to kind of get ready to put Sikoa in that spotlight, but at the same time, I feel like it's not going to be enough, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like in order for Roman to lose, there needs to be some type of crack in the bloodline. There needs to be something that happens on night one, whether it's Roman not helping the Usos retain their championships or Roman trying to help the Usos retain, but they still end up being unsuccessful, and the Usos keep thinking to themselves like, yo, like, when it comes to you, there's no excuses, there's no room for failure, there's no, hey, if we don't win this championship matchup, we never lose this championship, you know what I'm saying? Like, we always keep those belts around you, and it didn't feel like the same urgency was for us when that championship match, you know, when it went into you. And then night two, we see Sikoa come out, we see Heyman come out, you know, we see everybody kind of do their thing, but we don't see the Usos, you know, we don't see the Usos. Roman ends up retaining his championships, and Sikoa's hurt and Heyman's hurt, and we see the Usos come out and congratulate Roman. At the end of WrestleMania, there's those cracks because it's like, you know, Roman won, but not with the help of the Usos. So, you know, I feel like that can build a good story going into SummerSlam, but you know, Cody winning is definitely the right step as far as a fresh start. So, fuck, dude. It's like, it's when you put both of those things, it's like, you would think that would help me kind of even it out, but no, it doesn't. We're gonna go Cody winning. I'm gonna pop regardless. We're gonna go Cody winning, and we're gonna see how that goes. I'm gonna record my reactions too, so I'm excited for you guys to see that. But anyway, that'll be it for today's video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. Like and subscribe for more. And yeah, that was my WrestleMania predictions. I really enjoyed making this video. I like doing the predictions videos, and the pay-per-views are so like spread out nowadays, where it's like kind of make them once in a while. We don't really have a lot of these sit down kind of videos, so this is nice. I appreciate it. And by the way, again, thank you for the support. Right now, where I'm sitting at, we are at 561 subscribers, and that's absolutely incredible. We're on the road to 1,000, but the fact that we're already more than halfway there is incredible to me. So thank you guys so much for that, and I'll see you guys in the next video.